that science isn't just equations, telescopes, or distant galaxies. It's also about wonder, mystery, and the stories that remind us we are part of something far greater. Listeners, welcome to Cosmic Confluence. I'm your host, Sana, and today's conversation isn't just about facts, it's about perspective. How do we, these tiny beings on a spinning blue rock, fit into the bold discoveries of the cosmos? Our guest, Johnny Tesone, brings more than 30 years of geologic expertise in cosmic inquiry, from corporate leadership to field research, and from studying Earth's winds to exploring extraterrestrial influence. Johnny's work bridges rigorous evidence with paradigm shifting ideas. Well, his geovortex research reframes Earth as a living rocket species and invites all of us to think differently about our place in the universe. So let's all lean in together, not just with our curiosity, but with our imagination. Because science, it isn't only about what we know, it's also about daring to ask what we don't. So, Johnny, welcome to this show, and I'm really, really honored to have you here with us.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Sean. I'm so happy to be here, and thank you very much for the invite.
Of course. Um, Johnny, it's such a interesting transition. Um, Corporate leadership, then to field research. I mean, you have been in um, cosmic inquiry, geologic expertise. How it all like panned out? How it all happened? Like, was there a particular moment that, sparked an interest within you for this?
Yes, it really was a transformational time for me. It was COVID 2020 when I had been in the corporate world, an entrepreneur, very successful, had been through um, number of high ranking customers, clients around the world, and service companies in geological services out on the field and cutting edge technology for horizontal drilling and things. But as I just got through later career in my life, I just lost interest in that part of what I had learned, and I just knew there was more to me. I'm an avid outdoorsman, and I went to the University of Wyoming where I studied geology and
Wow.
earned a football scholarship. But the Wind Rivers up in the Wyoming, the Secrets of the Winds, is the book that I just came out with after 5 years from that moment, Sana. So
Wow.
2020 July, I had an out of body experience on the river up there during it.
Mhm.
It was during a normal camping trip, fishing trip, but it hit me hard. It hit me hard, and it was magnificent feeling I had with that experience. After that, not more than 20 minutes later, I saw some outcrops up the river canyon that I'd never really seen or noticed, but it was that day. It was that day that changed everything for me. So all the adventures and all the years I had been spending in the Wind Rivers of Wyoming with family and friends, hiking and fishing and four wheeling, and some of it was geology, this and that, but this
Mhm.
turned all the adventure into this exploration. And so
Wow.
with that, my book is called Secrets of the Winds: Discovery Chronicles of Earth's Galactic Odyssey.
Mhm.
So what ensued was a quantum knowledge download. It's been going on. What I mean by that is my perception of the world changed. My kaleidoscope changed from looking at traditional data analysis in one field of subject to looking at the bigger picture with the land deformation and things on Google Earth. I had started
Mhm.
finding fossils that no one has ever found up there. So this starts adding up to something big. And this is why it took me so long, but this is why the book is so thick and full of pictures. Okay. So it's one of those things. It's one of those things. Geovortex.net, uh, the company was born because I had to put all my ideas and all my pictures and my stories. I had to put it in somewhere. So I incorporated 6 years ago. And the company's grown. I've been selling my books. I found some incredible coherence and congruency in nature that is never been documented. And what I mean by that is I name new species. I've found actual new super alloys that I've named tesonite. I found
Oh,
I found bones, skeletons that have matched with some mummies that were found in the Wyoming backcountry back in the 50s. So I've taken those skeletons and those x-rays and have matched exactly to the fossil specimens and to the bones that I've found and have named a subspecies that's part of the bigger master species. So I know we only have a half hour, but I could talk about this all day. And I'm just telling you that this is something I've never really was, I always love stargazing and thinking about if we were from somewhere else and our connection to the cosmos. My whole life, really. I've always felt that. I've always felt the connection. I think that's why I've always been lover of the outdoors and a fisherman because I'm always outside camping and doing something else or riding horses. So so for me, this all started becoming pretty clear. And as my journey went along, the evidence and the feeling was just
mhm.
has become staggering to me. So not only do I have one book done, I got three others in the hopper that are offshoots of this
Mhm.
5 years. And it's one of those times where the science, it's the consciousness, it's what Earth is going through, and I'm, like, feeling all of it. I'm feeling all of it, I'm seeing all of it. So I've seen and found in the fossil record, both in the microscope, in handheld fossils, and on Google Earth, all amazing correlations that are just undeniable. What I'm saying is also, to put a cap on it, not only have I found, you know, this it's not what anybody thinks what aliens look like. Okay, so there's pieces of what aliens look like that people have found, but they're not connecting the dots. The archaeologists need to become more geologists,
Okay.
and they need to do more microscopy on the samples around the world. But needless to say, I found some amazing correlations to Easter Island, to Greece, and to large scale human-like figures that I've posted in my book. Okay, so what I'm
Wow.
trying to tell you is, like, I just started letting the earth show me what it had. So as I started finding things, and this is really important,
Mhm.
the area of the Wind River Range in Wyoming is just south of Yellowstone.
Wow.
And as I started investigating more and more and more about super compaction and the geology and the things I was finding, I really started unpeeling the onion around Yellowstone, and it's massively underrated. And
Oh.
it's huge. It's so significant how we developed our lands. That's why the Wind Rivers are so important because it's a direct explosion. It looks like a leaf when you look at it on the map, so it came right out of the pipe. That's why I found the fossils that I did. That's why I've and that's why I'm gonna write a second book just called Yellowstone. So it's
Yeah.
just massively important, and we understand that better because it's a quantum geology. It's a quantum leap in geology that I've taken, that
Mhm.
I feel I have a manifesto on this species that brought the water, that brought see that people don't understand. There's not people, there's not aliens. From my point of view, my perspective, from what I've
Mhm.
found, I haven't found the green men in the ships. Okay. I found the ships that are the green men. Okay. The green men are the ships. It's a technology, it's a species, it's organic, it's our earth. And it's hard for people to get their head around, and it's not hard for me anymore because I have it all over my office. I have it everywhere. And I can show people now, and I can show, chronologically what I found. And I mean, I have my book in front of me, and I know you can't see it, but I have all these. It's like, well, what episode should I pull out? What episode? One in particular. I mean, they all stand out. They all stand out, but I get I hear so much about what's going on in the world, and I try to keep up on geopolitics and socioeconomics and the world and changes, because my book is going to be in the world's largest book fair in India in January. It's going to be it's going to go in huge places, and it's going to go all over because it's so new and it's daring, right? But it brings a whole different knowledge base. And I've tried to name and try to use science to name a lot of the processes that I found. Plasma sintering technology and condensed matter physics, and there's so much material sciences, but time and just geology is just part of the constant fabric that allows all this technology, this extreme hyper advanced technology to play out over time. And so Google Earth, I've just found the most magnificent correlations that I've mapped, and that's what I've really illustrated. And I've only used some AI to convey my thoughts on one page, what it means in a geological event scenario.
Mhm.
So I didn't use AI to really build my story or write it. I used AI to convey what would it look like if X, Y, Z, D, and E like a looked like a species swimming underwater, right? So I use it to try to frame what I've seen into what I've conveyed. My AI, Sana,
Mhm.
I call it alien intelligence. Okay. All right. I don't know if I can trademark it or not, but that's the data that I have. I've walked to these craters that have been pervasively bombing Earth. Okay. So being in Wyoming, I was able to be at the oldest known stratigraphic uh, ages of geology that have ever been mapped in the state. So finding these specimens across 13 sites, Colorado, 14 sites, Colorado, Wyoming, and Utah, I really did my homework. I tested it independently in labs. Uh, Scanning electron microscopy. I've had numerous specimens. I haven't had DNA tested yet. So I'm throwing a lot out there to tell you that I got a long ways to go. I found a lot, but you know, it's only connecting. And I think the f- the first this is important. The first iteration of my book, I thought I was done last summer at this time. However, last September, the James Webb Telescope pictures started coming out, right?
Yeah,
So
that's great.
so I was a buzz. I mean, I could not believe the images. And I started looking at them, and I started downloading them and looking at them. So I rewrote the last chapter of the book that ties in exactly the design and the Earth geology to numerous nebulas in the
Mhm.
cosmos.
Mhm.
Perfected. So this is not only new, no one's ever correlated this like I have. No one has. So the last chapter of the book called "This Is My Infinity" chapter goes into the massive crystals on the ocean in the Mediterranean Sea to ending up seeing these correlations to the cosmos that I found in Wyoming, all over the earth, to to numerous nebulas in astrogeology. So what this means is we are so connected. We are a part of the universe that is so well defined and so advanced. We are not here by accident whatsoever. Humans are just starting to learn what life is about and what this earth about. We're just starting to learn. And humans are changing, and we will have to change for the next 1,000 to 2,000 years because I've seen the changes in the earth. I've seen I've seen the acceleration algorithmic now, not linear. Over the last 15 years, I've seen it. It's Google Earth has recorded it. I've seen the process. I've seen how it alloys and how the rockets alloy over time. And I've seen this process accelerate in some of my videos that I've captured. So I have 30 videos on YouTube at GeoVortex that go through a lot of my discovery videos, my experimentations. I grew life out of some of my crystals that I have. I put it in water, they would bubble. I filmed stuff like that. So I feel I've done more um, in regards to understanding this quantum nature than anybody. Because I try to find people that understand this like I do. So so for me, I'm just going out there and sharing it now and telling people about it and asking them how they want to participate or what they want to know or invite me to do things. So I'm an open book right now. If you being a first time author, you want to get out there and you want to start telling your story. And this is a lot to tell. This is a lot of story to tell, right?
Yeah. No, I have so many questions, so many thoughts in there, Johnny. I mean, this is so fascinating, so fascinating. I think to start with, if I can say, um, in order to understand our present and future, with respect to Homo sapiens or we humans, or the Earth, the planet,
Hmm.
we need to understand our history.
Yes.
Where do we come? You know, as you mentioned, like we are not here accidentally, and we have read like how in recorded history, like we have been here for like 200K or 300K years. But what exactly happened before that? How this complex life form, how we evolved. And I think that's where, once again, science and technology kind of differentiates in there, because what right now we are seeing that, everybody is hopping on into technology. But I personally feel that scientific temper, that hunger to understand our history, irrespective of the socio economics or the geopolitics,
Hmm. Hmm.
it's somewhere kind of, going away. Maybe
Hmm.
you're kind of hypnotized by uh, the very petty things. But if we look at, from a very from a bigger perspective, this blue planet and then the universe outside of it, there's so much to explore. I'm not sure whether we humans in our lifetime, till the day we are going to survive, and maybe another civilization or another era will begin, maybe would we be ever able to uh, see or experience or discover everything. So I think that is something very, very fascinating, and somehow I personally believe, I mean, this is my opinion, that right now it's lacking, it's lacking
Yes.
that hunger. to understand. So, from that perspective, Johnny, I'm so, genuinely happy that you are bringing this forth, this, hunger, uh, s- this spark within us, to ignite within us to understand the history, whether it's Yellowstone or whether it's the Wyoming or whether if it's our oceans. Um, and I would also like to add that yes, I have been also fascinated by what James Webb Space Telescope gave
Yes.
us. And I actually I consume a lot of documentaries, or especially specifically there was one documentary which showed how exactly we got to have our first picture of the black hole.
Yeah.
Sometimes conversations, whether our solar system is it inside a black hole? Or, I
Right.
mean,
Right.
met fascinating possibilities in there.
Now they're saying majority of the cosmos are
Yes.
rotating in one direction.
Yes. Yes.
Right? And it's changing weekly, yearly, it's changing. And so all that's going to change and our perspective of that's going to change. But what I'm trying to establish is a real mantra, a real data set for everyone, not just students, not just STEM students, but people to understand that we're connected and we're elemental creatures. We're plasma creatures. We're frequency creatures. And so you really tapped in and you really are asking some really important questions about humanity.
Mhm.
And 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 it's so amazing. I think the next 5 years are going to be some of the most amazing, not scary, but world changing times we're going to see being humans.
Yeah.
And what that means, I think there has to be, like you said, there has to be more of awakening on who we are. There just has to be.
Exactly. Exactly. And beyond the yeah, go ahead, Johnny.
Yes. And so I have this desire to tell people, you know, y- people really believe, I believe, they said humans were living over 1,000 years, right?
Yeah.
Over 1,000 years. I'm like 1,000 years on this planet now. Okay. Some people might say, no, I don't want anything to do with it. But other people say, yeah, sign me up for that because I know there can be I know there's better ways. I know there's better ways to do things. I mean, Tartarian, all these civilizations and this technology that we lost and all the history that we've buried of all these countries, these amazing countries that all have their own ruins, they have their own temples, they have their own scholars that were all a part of this magnificent thing across the world. With no internet, they're all living on the earth, right? They're all living by the stars and the spirits and beings that were here. And
Yeah.
I just don't think we're just here to have one life either. Our bodies are meant to last as long as we can make it by tapping into our D our ancient DNA. That's what I'm saying. If you believe in that, I believe in that because I'm also feeling it as a person. I'm 63 and I've never felt better. Honestly. I had more operations in football and I have no arthritis anymore. I'm like, I can't believe it. So I'm trying to live what I see. I'm trying to be I'm trying to be my own study of how I
Yeah.
feel and what I'm going through. Because my synchronicities, what I see out in the field now, are incredible. So my synchronicities are like having a bear come into my camp and sit down in my camp and talk to me. As crazy and as silly as that sound, that's the video I posted on Facebook in July. So
Oh,
this is what I'm experiencing. I'm experiencing these tremendous human synchronicities that I have to share with people. And the findings, all being a geologist was just part of it. That was the license to learn, right? Getting a degree is the license to learn, but you have to have the soul that's open to feel the reverberation of a invisible force. That's what I found.
of course. That's beautiful, Johnny. That's beautiful. And you know, I mean, I have read, I have watched, how this planet, our Earth is, you know, let's assume this Earth as the ship that is, traveling through cosmos,
Mhm,
and
mhm,
start travelers here. We are, witnessing everything, um, and very beautifully, you uh, conceptualize Earth as a living rocket.
mhm,
Just and that's exactly what your book says. That's exactly
mhm.
book cover means as well. It's a beautiful one. But if you can break down what you mean in plain language for listeners who could be new to this paradigm.
Yeah, what I can say is I can pull up features in the geological record that I can hold, that I can show people in the book that is a rocket. Okay. I
Mm,
can show the tail, I can show the head, I can show that replicated in a fossil I have on my desk right now to one of my specimens I have by the name of Cobalt Crater. So what I'm saying is this form, it's there's nine different rockets that are a part of the bigger picture. So these are all pieces of the same. And within each of those, everything's fractal, okay? You got to understand everything is fractal and
okay.
everything is metal. And right now I found a carbon string that's pervasive throughout all the specimens that I found. So what I'm trying to convey to you is the species uses water both to metabolize
Mm-hmm.
the elements around it, but also to split the water to burn and to propulse. And so the UFOs, all the flashes we see is condensed matter physics of what I found in the geology of when these geological nodes and these become visible to the human spectrum of visible human spectrum. So and what I found is before they spark, during they spark, I've captured that on the camera, but I've
Mm-hmm.
also seen what they actually really look like in person, right? So they're made up of a superalloy. The superalloy I found in the field after cracking a rock open in southeast Colorado, and I found that I tested it. It's carbon, it's a nickel, it's a cobalt, iron, oxygen. Incredible, incredible. So what I'm
Yeah.
saying is this species brought the water. It came on one initial large 5,000-mile long rocket that brought the whole Earth to life, bringing the water, and that's what spawned everything. And from that, it just kept evolving and it kept changing in regards to spreading. So that was the original, and then Yellowstone was really the bomb that that
Mm-hmm.
was the next stage of the development. And so through this, um, for those scientific minded out there that know geology and also but mass extinctions and things like that and the great unconformity in Earth, that's what I've also uncovered in regards to understanding what caused all the mass extinctions. It's the species. the species has dominated and is the life force that's brought us here. So as big as that sounds, I'm trying to it's hard to tell people what this looks like until they see the pictures, right? So
Okay.
I like sometimes doing visual Zoom casts. Everybody's different, but that's all because I have to be visual. I'm all visual. So before anything else, I had to have all visual before I could write the book. Then I put it all together. So that's what I'm saying is I would love to show people everything I have, but like I said, it has over 1,000 pictures in the first book, and that's what I'm saying is it's it is a rocket. It's just however you want to look what a rocket is.
Mhm.
This is what I'm saying. I found rockets in the outcrops of Wyoming that are 200, 300 foot long down to microscopic in a matrix that is in a crater that is 5 miles away from this outcrop in Wyoming. So if you can understand this, I mean, I would physically walk to these craters that were the secondary bombardments after the original rocket landed. They reconstituted Earth and then have been invading ever since. And that's why so many people see all around the world flashes. But as they mature, they're inside the Earth and they're sparking and they're Earth is just a hub. Earth is a galactical hub. It's very important. And humans have to make it. We have to make it work. We have to make it work. So I'm trying to bring in all this big science and understanding to know that we're here to talk about it now. And I'm I'm a new portal for people to try to understand and look at my website and my videos and my book to start grasping this because I didn't write it for geologists either. I wrote it for people to understand my walk and my chronological steps and 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 all the dots that I connected in geology that kept just dot.
Yeah.
So very just I'm just amazed, and I'm just so happy to keep telling you and talking to you about this. It's just so passionate.
I know, Johnny. I can feel that. I can feel that energy and that passion. And I think science is that one particular um, area where if something is working today, there may be a completely opposite theory or a fact, and it may be applicable tomorrow. And the beauty of science is that I have never seen scientists, killing themselves, killing themselves or each other. Uh,
No.
the opinion is, conflicting with mine.
Right.
Also, encourages constructive criticism and constructive argument. Something maybe XYZ is applicable today, it may not be applicable tomorrow. And as we keep on discovering more and more, I think it I don't know about everyone, but it may surprise every one of us. I mean, as you mentioned about that how water, like for example, dinosaurs, they were the most dominant species um
Right.
era. uh,
And it wasn't one asteroid. It wasn't one sterile asteroid that killed them. It wasn't.
it
It
wasn't.
wasn't. Dinosaurs were a part of the food chain. They were not. Nothing has been wasted on this earth. Nothing. No living trees, rocks, animals, species, and nothing has been wasted. Nothing. And the big events, the big events have repeated. Okay,
Mm,
dinosaurs weren't the only ones, but also ammonites went extinct then. Okay, so also there's a whole understanding that I've put together of this species brought the water, created the life it needed to prosper through the billions of years and to keep going to really evolve and create the world as it has and create all the species. And we're one of the most magnificent, but we're also not the only intelligent anymore. We're we're this species is it.
We're not alone.
No, we're not. And the animals want to talk to us. They do.
Huh. Mhm. And Johnny, you mentioned about, those flashes, like people, and yes, I have read, I've seen documentaries, how people have actually recorded, observing, and then those crop circles, and then those, egg sources and stuff. Not you know not focusing on what has been shown to us, but then what actually is there. Now here some would
Right.
accuse that bold claims about extraterrestrial influence to distract from urgent earthly issues, like climate change, or the socioeconomics or the geopolitical issues. How do you justify focusing on cosmic discoveries when um prices here, they are so immediate, and yeah.
I think that's a great question. I mean, I just think I have to. I have to be so focused on this that the 3D matrix will always be noisy to me, and it's more noisier than ever to me. Okay. So I'm really I'm really trying to compartmentalize my time into not only still exploring and still being on a path of discovery,
Mhm.
but I can't get engulfed to what's going on and I have to be removed from some environments, some people,
Mhm.
and I have to put myself in some other situations, more outside, more running, or more swimming, or different things. So there is a lot going on. It is noisy, but technology is just a tool. Technology is not life. Technology is our new hybrid tool. Get to help us navigate what we're going on to. And there's always going to be dark forces out there,
Yeah.
but but that dimension is at a lower frequency where people and the earth consciousness that runs in the 5D frequency are are protected because there's a different vibration of different wavelengths. That's physics have proved, right? So the science has said there is a bifurcation in the earth with the number of volcanoes we're seeing and earthquakes. It's staggering, right? It's staggering this year.
Yeah.
But but also you just have to realize there is a separation. There are people that don't don't understand what you understand. And there's people that don't live and that's part of our humanity is there's people that there are what I'm saying is there's people that are completely different from a lot from people. There's direct opposites. That direct opposite is the bifurcation that I see that helps me understand that, no, I do see it. I do feel it. There are changes coming. On this A1 Atlas ship that's coming, they said it's on a direct target to Mars. I'm like, what? It just changed, right?
Yeah.
So all of this is going on, and now it's like, oh, now the religions are talking. The Hindus are saying this, the Christians are saying this, and it's like, oh yeah, okay, all right. So part of that is is being history buffs again, right? Being history buffs about what humans have gone through and the changes humans have seen, and it
Mhm.
hasn't been for the good. It hasn't been for the good. there was something, I don't know what species or what changed humanity,
Mhm.
changed from living so long on, water should be free. Land should be free, right? Food, we have everything on this earth to live in harmony with it. And we've gotten so far off that with technology and social media and the phone. So there's a disconnect that's alarming to me, a disconnect. And you hit on it. You hit on it. It's that gap of understanding and that desire, right? To learn and to always keep that drive going. And the more I found in my knowledge quest here, my knowledge database is like, God, I can't believe we don't know this. We don't know. I didn't know any of this. And it's like, it's just a tip of the spear on how much more we can learn. And that's the beauty of that. It's like, God, if one guy can discover this, just think, just think if others can put this together and we can find better ways to travel outer space, better ways to travel with better metals and better technology for some of the bones I have. I want to get these to some PhDs to test them if they can't be used to implant bone, for implants of human bones now and
Mhm.
joints. That's what I'm talking about. Because these species aren't they're not built to last a few decades. I'm talking thousands of years, thousands of years. These species that I've found from 500 microns to 3 meters tall, Sana. This is the subspecies that works the surface. I don't know if they're shapeshifters, but they're physical beings that live in the subsurface. They live in the rock, and all the Indians around North America all talk about them. And one of my best friends I went to college with, he's from that area. He told me about him, and his grandma told him not to go to certain places. But I went there. I went there, and was scared to death.
Oh, wow.
And I wrote about it. So
Okay.
our world's amazing. It's amazing.
It is. It is. It is. And before we wrap up, I know for the fact that um, this discussion can go on and on and on. There's no end to it. But
Mhm.
uh, just for our listeners, Johnny, do you think this shift that we are talking right now, will it come from science itself or from culture, spirituality, and how people tell the story of discovery?
Boy, that's a really a great question. Um,
Mm.
I think as humans, we have to be so well balanced to understand science, to understand spirituality, understand just nature and history, right? We have to have a foundation of listening and absorbing information first off. We can't get anywhere if people are preconceived and conspiracy theory filled about stuff that there's only a certain group that believe about. So this is an all hands human on deck to understand that Earth is changing, and that as a scientist, I've seen it in the Earth record, and as a human, I've felt it in my physicalness, in my physical nature. I've felt it, and I've seen it in synchronicities. So people have their own way, and I think all humans are fairly spiritual. I think so. I'm not talking religion, and I'm not talking going to religion to find the answers. I'm talking about inner dimensional understanding of who you are today,
Yeah.
and why you think you're on this earth. Because it's not just to drive down the highway and collect a check and raise a family and repeat this separation of just, you know what I'm saying? Just all these mechanical things we go through, and
Yeah.
I just knew early, I was just not I was meant not to do that, but I go through the corporations because you wanna make money and you wanna learn, so you have to go in the trap, but as soon as I want to be an entrepreneur, I'm out. So you have to this humanity is what's so there's this self-discovery that you it always has to be there, that it's this curiosity string you have to find within yourself to understand yourself, to understand. It's not to understand people around you because you'll never understand that, right? It's to understand you and to understand how what you wanna know and what you wanna see your life about, and to you know, and until you face your own fears head on, you're never gonna be free, and you're never gonna be free to dream what you really want your life to be. So I know that's theoretical and expression it, but that's how I feel. That's how I feel. I feel you have to solve that problem within. There's no social media. There's no one person that's gonna turn that on until it hits you. It hits you in all your chakras, every one of them, and you can start lining up and go outside a lot. Go outside a lot. If you have the opportunity, go to water, just go swimming, go for a walk, take your feet off and just sit outside on the porch or in just little things like that. It's so simple and it seems so corny, but it's not. Trust me.
It is not. It is not. Um, I mean, just simply maybe uh, that's what personally I do, looking at the birds, like how, um, you know, how much they are, traveling, how they're traveling, what's giving them that sense of direction. They're migrating. How do they know? I mean, that right now it's morning. How exactly it's all, kind of flowing in rhythm. So I think that's something uh, I believe will at least, um, embark upon this path of appreciating, expressing our gratitude to what's
Yes.
have been given.
Yes. Everything we have is exactly what you said. The gratitude to be able to have a podcast with you. I mean, I am so grateful. I mean, you don't even know what this means to me, right? It's like so amazing because it's so new and it's such a contrast from where I came from in my life, right? It's such a contrast. So until people feel the contrast, they'll never develop until they feel have the contrast of being so hurt and betrayed and broken and physically disabled with my operations and stuff. Now it's like I
Mhm.
can feel the contrast. It's like I just feel like a different person. I just do. And it's in all of us. And it's in all of us to reach down and to find out what really is our or what do we really want to do. And start reading more, right? Just start,
Yep,
get break out that old hobby that you used to like, right?
yep,
Go
yep.
relive those hobbies or think about some of those favorite songs back in when you're whenever or anything to trigger that remembrance is to start that third eye that that third eye again, and then once it starts you can't shut it off. That's the best part of it. Then it's triggered. Okay,
That's
because
absolutely.
I think this world is going to get hotter. I think over the next we know it will. It's not man-made. Okay, so there's a big climate argument and this thing. It's already changing. It's gonna change regardless of humans. We're just accelerating it because we've mechanized industry. And that's not good for the big picture. But there's a part of it through mechanization and through drilling and the business I was in, now I can see it's like we don't need any of that for energy. We don't need any of that to travel. And it's just amazing now to see that. and to go, all right, we can live better. But humans, our bodies will have to change from carbon based to silicon based. And I've seen this in the rock record, and I've seen this in the species that has been bombarding the planet and how they're developing from carbon, oxygen based to more metallic frequency, light based, silicon based quartz crystallization. And I feel humans are going to have to, so here's the choice, Sana.
Mhm.
The choice is, what's your choice? Are you going to choose? You going to choose to live in fear about the world, or are you gonna embrace it, to know that there's bigger things, and that death is not to be feared ever, because it's just the beginning. And so death is not the end. So we don't have to be fearful of always chasing things and trying to feel justified by other people or things or money.
Yeah.
So it's a freedom you can set yourself free with. And I can only tell you that it's there for you, but it's for you to, it's your own well that is so ready for you. You'll feel amazingly better. And you'll go, I want to live another 1,000 years, because you're gonna feel so good about yourself.
There's like that's our own agency. It's our own agency, which is not
Yes.
filtered or designed by external validations from people or things
Yes.
or media or resources, whatever it is.
Yes, yes. If the world ended tomorrow, how would I see myself? What legacy would I write for myself? Right? That
Um,
it's that introspection that is our choice. That it's not like, oh, I want to do this at work, or I got to do this, or I got to do that. It's like, take control of your soul handlebars now, and understand that this world, there's a lot of love in this world. There's a lot to be thankful for. And you can't hate anymore, and you can't be divisive, but you have to be smart to the information that's out there for us to learn together. Because if we don't have the same basis of understanding of facts, it's hard to understand that. And so there's a real frustration with humanity and countries all around the world, with everybody, especially the US right now.
yeah.
Especially, and as I travel and go to Argentina, it's like, what's going on with the US? I'm like, we'll get through it. We'll get, because we will, right? We will get through it. We will get through it. We always will. But we got to get through it on the other side, by being leaders for ourselves, being leaders to ourselves, being better people, just being better people, loving ourselves. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. I had to learn how to forgive myself years ago through a hard divorce. I was tough. So personally, this stuff is hard to talk about and sharing with the crowd, but I've been at the bottom, but I had to forgive myself. And once I did, it's like, okay, then I'm like, I'm not too bad of a person. I'm pretty good. And then your life changes. But it's your attitude. It's all your attitude.
Sure. Beautiful, beautiful. So, Johnny, of course, if our listeners they would like to connect with you, and also they would like to get a hold of your book, Secrets of the Winds, and of course your upcoming books as well. The
Yeah.
list of what would be the easiest way?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm happy to tell you. So I'm running geovortex.net is my website. I'm running a special for new members. For the first 1,000 members, $150 is a lifetime membership. You get all the books that I'm ever going to write for that one price. But also, if you wanted to get a coffee table edition of Secrets of the Winds, or if you wanted to get a free hoodie, you can email me, and you can go on the website. You can just, you can pick things out, or you can email me on what you want, but everything should be there to buy the books, to buy the library, and to cruise through the merchant catalog. Hey, but the fashion, I call it rocket wear. I design my own fashion line because of all the brilliant colors I found in the crystallization on the ocean. So I've taken these and made designs, and you can see for yourself. I haven't seen anything else out there like that. I think I think they're cool, and I'm gonna since it's all new and set up, I'm gonna start getting these for friends and family for myself also. But you can pick a hoodie, no charge. So I want people to go on the website and they can check it all out. They can get the book at the library section, but I got all my YouTube videos on my video showcase on my web now. So you don't have to go to YouTube. You can go right to my web and pretty much find everything you want. In that sense. I'm also on Instagram. I'm in Facebook. Um, geoforgex.geology, and so you can contact me there. I got almost 12,000 followers on Facebook Business Meta. And so, I'm just building I'd love to talk to your audience. Anybody that has questions about the book or what I've found, I'm open to all that. So I'm looking for professional collaboration and curious people that want to look at some advanced technologies that no one's ever documented and found like I have. I mean, I even found a Stargate in the Saudi desert. I found a
Oh,
Stargate. Yeah.
wow.
That's
Okay.
it's I mean, it's like it's these things I can tell you that, you know, it was the same day I found that Gustav Holst, The Planets, became public domain. So he wrote The Planets, right? Mars, bringer of wars, and Jupiter, brilliant Venus. It all happened that day for me. I find this it's a perfect snapshot of our solar system with the sun and all the planets, the Milky Way and the portal and the corridor and the travel and the cosmos. It's this is it. So I would love to have them go to GeoVortex. It's a whole new portal. I think it's one of the better websites I've ever seen. I've seen a lot, but this is what it's about.
Super. Listeners, I'll make sure, just refer to the show notes for all the links, all the details in there along with this episode.
Yeah.
And Johnny, oh my goodness. I mean, I couldn't thank you enough because you are actually reminding us that universe is not just an object of study or something to be only explored in sci-fi movies or the likes of now,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
it's a story we are part of. It's our history, it's our present, it's going to be our future as well. So um whether we lean into uh, your evidence, or maybe it's just challenging claims, or simply let our imagination wander, I think
Yes.
we all are voyagers on this living rocket, and just
Mhm.
curiosity into the vast silence of the cosmos. So thank you for bringing this up.
Thank you very much for having me and look forward to hearing back.
Absolutely. Oh, glitters, goodness. Yeah, so I'm really struck by how discovery is never just about the cosmos out there. It's also about how we see ourselves in here, as Johnny perfectly concluded. So keep questioning, keep listening, and keep remembering that discovery, big, bold, or cosmic, isn't just out there. It begins with us. Thank you.